right, good morning, Stealth Traders. We are just watching the recovery from the 8:30 housing market numbers coming out. We see a slight rise up here, a little bit of a sell-off, but looks like there's no clear indication today from Stealth on a direction. So today will be a scalping day, scalping kind of trading between the equilibrium and the standard deviations that we see here. Again, there's not much. You got about 10 points between each standard deviation. So we're going to set our trading strategy today at our 10-point target for each scalp that we do. We do see a little bit of pressure here on the bias rate of change, a little bit of selling pressure there, not super strong in either direction. So again, we're going to keep our entries tight, and let's see if we see some action at the opening bell as well. Oh, there's a little peek down.
Order filled.
See if there's a quick bounce back we can get there, set our stop in, and lock in at least a little bit of profit. Yeah, 20 bucks at a time. Sometimes that's all it takes. Again, if you're trading with Topstep like I am, then you know you're not really exposed to a significant amount of margin. You pay your $150 plus $150 for an express account, so you're in for $300, and you're trading up to 15 contracts. So making $200, $300, $400 a day, not a bad way to make a living. And for those of you watching, we're in at 17,879.50. So we're hoping this is going to bounce up to at least 881. We're going to set our initial stop loss trail right there, and then see if it gets up to the 891, which will give us our 10-point target. Again, we're trading between the standard deviation ranges here, but we're keeping things really tight. We don't want to see the bottom fall out of this particular trade. We do see that 5-minute gauge starting to turn a little bit more red here, so there could be a quick reversal to the downside. We're going to try and get out of this trade. Reset our stop a little bit earlier than we want to here, 881, 882. Let it come back up to equilibrium and reset for another trade. Now, remember with Topstep, you cannot connect Stealth to or NinjaTrader or Tradeovate, any of the typical platforms that you'll see with Topstep. So that's why I'm using an interactive broker's account and just simply putting the orders in manually through NinjaTrader, which you see here. Just going to set this down closer to 4 standard deviations. That's where we're at. And then just pull this back up to get our 1 point. Now you've seen here the 5-minute tick is starting to go down, so I'm more anxious to simply just exit this particular trade, grab 1 point plus the round trip commission, and if it starts to get any worse, I may just simply reverse this out and go short. Remember, we're trying not to scale in here on trades. We're trying to make the single trade, one contract, make it work, and take the hit if it goes south on you. Don't be afraid to, pull the trigger and say, no, that wasn't the best thing I could have done. Here we go. Let's see if it pops up. We're not quite at 879. Oops. Missed that there. Lots of selling pressure now. That might have been a little tick up that we needed, which we missed on that. There's a secondary rally here. We're going to just try and get out at a break-even number. There we go.
Stop filled.
Peaked up. Sitting at 64 bucks for that. That was a $15 trade. But hey, make 10 or 20 of those in a day, and you're golden. Again, we're only trading one contract, so you could scale these up once you get a larger Topstep account. So I have two 150K accounts. You can see this morning just blew the trading combine account, so I'm going to reset that later today. After the market opens, see if there's a general trend or direction that the market's going in, and see where we go from there. Again, peaking out at 883, 884. Could have been a couple extra points in there if it was the right entry. I just entered too early. You can see here at 879.50, it dropped down to 872. I'm always preaching a little bit of patience, so be patient. Take that extra 10 or 15 seconds, especially when you see a peak indicator like that. You saw, peaked out at 883, 84. Now it's up at 885. So, there we go. Another peak there. Am I going to short this? I'm going to just wait and see if we get to 888. Prefer trading within the standard deviation bounds. So if that happens, we'll take that. Can you scalp? Yeah, you can scalp like this, But again, sometimes the market just has to catch up to where Stealth is projecting the numbers to be. This is a really tight range here, and so profit opportunities are going to be limited to really, really tight scalping. In fact, I may just do a 6-point target on the scalp. Stealth also has some great capabilities in terms of actually watching what triggers the system. So we've got a trigger bar here, trigger list. Just as an example, so if you were doing the MES, but trading the ES, it was this 737, so 630, what was the short on MES? Let's take a look at the chart. That'd be 530 right in there. Sorry, 630 right in there. Quick little scalp out, then this might have hurt a little bit. You would have gone about 15 points, but again, if you'd scale back, it would have come down to where you needed to. Go back to MAQ here. Around charts. So I go between a 30-second chart and a 5-minute chart. I just like to see some of the longer term trends here. Are we gonna break below the market event data here at around 865? It looks like there's a pretty broad range here that'll happen, and now we see the 5 minutes starting to peak down below equilibrium. So it looks like there's going to be a bit of a short play here emerging. We'll keep an eye on that and see if that plays out. So if we bump back up to somewhere, I'd say halfway between here and 887 and 878, let's call it 883. That might be a good spot to take a 6-point trailing stop. Market's opening in just over 3 minutes. We'll see what trigger Stealth pops up. So I also take a look at the broader trigger list from Stealth, and then that way resize this in here so we can see everything. If I see a whole bunch of shorts emerging from the tech plays, then I will go ahead and look at MQ as the proxy for that. We'll see if that starts adjusting any of the longer term gauges. 2.5 minutes to go. Microsoft, Nvidia, and Netflix all up today. Google, Apple, Meta looking down. That's why there's no consistency here in terms of where the market looks like it's going to go. But let's see if people take advantage of the buying opportunity to push MQ at the open. Still sitting around equilibrium, so I don't really want to trade at this point. Again, it's going to 885. Yep, I'll take a trade at that standard deviation. But let's see what happens with the market open. I've seen crazy stuff. This could go up or down either way, and if that happens, if we see a lot of volume coming in, I will wait until the first 5 minutes of the market, see what direction the market is taking, and if it's going to go on a bit of a run either way. And if the stealth gauges start changing dramatically at market open. Again, I'm not a chart trader, so I've been using stealth for around 10 years almost in my own private portfolio. What you see here is just my cash savings essentially inside IB. So this is all part of my challenge to take the $300 from my spending on Topstep accounts and seeing if I can turn that into 30,000 to 100x return on that initial payment.
Short alert.
It is going to go down. I will sell into any initial rally that happens here.
Short alert. Short alert.
That sound you hear in the background is all the alerts going off on Stealth.
Short trigger.
Folks can see that too.
Short alert. Short trigger. Short alert. Short alert. Short alert.
There's definitely something going on here with Rhythmic Trader's feed. NQ, this is something's off here between the real-time data and what. There we go. I think it's kind of strange. Well, let's see here. Airbnb, yeah, way off its equilibrium numbers.